Hi, hello
Hi,
everyone.
everyone.
I don't know what we call them. What did you say? The big toe?
The toes, the big toes.
Big toes. Oh, the Christmas toes. Oh gosh. Everyone's saying good evening. Hi. We see you in the chat. I love that they already started to talk to each other. So I call this Mystery 2 episodes, though, 3 and 4. And I can't believe that we're already here. This drives me crazy when this stuff happens. Like life is going by so fast. What did you think, Kathy, of this episode?
Well, when I finally watched it, because I was watching it, I watched it on Hallmark Plus, so I just watched both episodes straight through. And apparently, I fell asleep 5 minutes before the ending of part one. And I woke up exactly when the credits for part two were going. So I had to go back and start all over again with part two. But I enjoyed it. I thought this one had a lot of humor, which I liked. I didn't appreciate Debbie getting rapped on because she didn't sound that bad. But the whole choir gimmick I thought was interesting. I liked the way they did that. I wish that lead girl, shoot, you know what's in my mind, Cora, but she's not Cora. Wrong
Emily?
story. Emily,
Emily?
yeah. I love the way she brought the brother in line. That was pretty nice. I wouldn't have minded if she roughed him up a little bit, but I suspect he's going to turn into a nice guy, and I'm hoping we see more of him. He was, that was kind of a nice apology he did. So I don't know if they're planning any, personal stuff with Violet, but you never know what's going to happen.
So the
The
young man,
mystery was very well done because I usually can figure these things out pretty early on. I did not suspect who the real perpetrator was. And even when they did say it, I thought a little bit of she's kind of tiny to be doing all the murders she was supposed to be doing. I mean, you got to have a lot of strength for that. But it made sense the way Emily figured it out. I like that. So I'm getting used to the voiceovers, so they're not annoying me as much.
that's a
Uh,
good step.
yeah, because they're there and got to live with them. So there you have it. So I thought it was cute the way she figured that out just by the clue of saying paper cut. Um, I don't know. Are they keeping the guy in the dark on some of this stuff? Does he even know that her friend's brother is the one that broke into the store?
Does who know?
Uh, uh, I'm
Sam? Sam.
Sam. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sam.
Violet's dad. I don't think she ever said anything. I don't think she ever like told him that she figured it out. She kind of handled it like on her own, which I
Okay.
th- which I thought was why would we have her do that? But then I think the reason why they did that was because then we saw like a dark side of Emily. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Almost like she's got two
That's kind of
personalities.
why I warmed up to her. I kind of like that whole. No, really, the woman as a badass. I like that. So I
Yeah.
thought that was pretty good the way she kind of, although she didn't disguise her voice very well, but this is a show. It's a TV show, so he wasn't supposed to. He wasn't supposed to recognize her. So I thought it was pretty good, and there was some progress in Sam and Emily. I like that. Not in my view, it wasn't romantic. It was more he kind of has decided apparently the woman's good. She can come up and she gives good ideas and she really contributes to solving his cases. So I'm just going to roll with it. So he has just given in to that, and then we had the ending, which was so warm. Can you tell I'm warming up to Emily now? I really was nebulous last time, but I don't see romance yet. I know he cares for her. He said as much. And I'm pretty convinced she cares for him too. But that whole last scene, that was pure. I get you. I care for you. You can trust me with your heart and your feelings. And her going, I know I can. Thank you. And that hug was perfect. So I think their relationship deepened, and now they're on the runway headed for romance.
Right. I loved the ending so much that let's see. Yeah, someone's saying, I really can't wait to find out about Emily's past. So mysterious. And we are getting a little bit of that every now and again, right, Rona? Just a little bit. Um,
Whatever she had going on in her past, I think it's become apparent she was an alpha because She
Mhm.
takes no stuff. So
Mm-mm.
yeah.
So I love the ending. So here's the thing. There's so many layers to this mystery. You're right. And I'll talk my feelings about it in a minute, but it was extremely layered. And I love when there's a challenge because it really wasn't just one person in the middle of that mystery. It was more like two. And then we've got the mystery of who she is, but then we also have, the feel goods of them becoming the town becoming close. Like she's got June as her friend. It looks like is it Sue? Who's in charge of
Yes,
the
who is
dog?
the Asian
Yes.
owner of the cafe?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we have Brooke, even though she's a little bit of a mess, she still wants to have like that friendship and how they're
She's still
kind of
good people. I mean, she's a
yes.
little
Yeah.
pesky, but she's good people.
Yes. Yes. Now the end, and then we've got this romance that's booming. But before we could get a romance, they need to like each other because their meet cute was a little on the hostile side on his end, where he's like, "It's really my coffee," because it was I ordered before you, and she's like, "Well, chivalry is dead," and he kind of said, "Well, it's on a need to know or need to have basis kind of thing," and he walks off. He's sort of like cold and standoffish, right? But then
Mhm.
he's little by little warming up to her and he doesn't want to admit it, but she's really good at this stuff. So he asks for her help in this episode. And I love when he says something to her about being safe. And she goes, "Oh, you care." And he goes, "Well, you're my responsibility. I did ask for your help." Like he didn't want it to be, "Oh, I care." Right.
Yeah.
And then I mapped this out with Kathy. I already shared all of this with her. And she said I didn't allow her to speak, but that's okay. I'm allowing her to speak now. I'm allowing. Listen to my words. Oh my gosh, I'll fix them. All right. Kathy already saw all of this. This is when it's the very end, and you think the mystery's all solved, but there was still another mystery, and that was what was going to happen with the electrical system. And she figures out, Emily, that it's going to be blown up, and poor Brooke is going to be blown up to smithereens. So she tackles her and gets to the ground. And you were there with us. But this is the look that Peter Mooney gives for Sam when he's watching Emily in action. And it's like in awe, like she impresses him. He even says, "You impressed me," right? So let's see, let's go with this. And then he's got the look like, yeah, and she's smiling. She's got like that little cute, and their hands are just, they're just side by side because they're walking down the street. But it's like a Bridgerton moment where you almost have that Mr. Darcy hand touch, but they're not there yet. They're just teasing us. It's almost as if we see things brewing, but they don't realize it.
Well,
And then
he realizes it.
he does, but do you think she
She
does? But
does. Yeah, I think she does, but she is determined not to let it happen because she's so worried about whatever's going on in her past. I think number one, she doesn't want to be found, and number two, and right up there, close to number one, is she doesn't want Sam or Violet to be caught up in collateral
yeah,
damage with
yeah.
whatever it is she's hiding from or running from.
Right, right, exactly. So when they get to the door and he in a lighthearted trying to get to know him, and I see a lot of wonderful comments in the chat box, and we're going to address them in a minute. But I love where he's just trying to be lighthearted with conversation, and he's like, "So why Christmas?" Because it wasn't the first time he kind of made a comment about her and loving Christmas. And she kind of like, "Well, I don't know. I just like it." And he could tell from her body language that she closed herself off. He's like, "I get it." And she's like, "What do you mean you get?" And the whole thing where, "I really like spending time with you, but you obviously don't feel the same way." And so he walks away. And what she says to him is kind of a shock. Wouldn't that have shocked you if all of a sudden she tells you something about her past and it's
Something that
very
personal.
and tragic. I was 7 when my parents died on New Year's Eve in a car crash or New Year's Day, and she's trying to chase that feeling of what she felt when she was with them last, which we all kind of chase a feeling, especially during the holidays. And when you get older, you miss those, that feeling you had as a kid. But anyway, she's chasing it. She thinks she got it. She executed that. It made me cry. And I know it's Hallmark, but it made me cry. But look at his face now. Like you could see the look like, oh my, she stuns him. And the more she talks and she's using her hand and she goes with the feelings, he kind of like is taking a step, great directing. And he just envelops her and holds her because that's what she needs. and she cries, and I'm like, this is so good. And there they are standing on the
They're just
street.
being human beings.
Yep.
You know, he's comforting her. She's accepting his comfort. And I was telling Roxanne earlier, on a lot of Hallmark stuff, when the couple embraces, you're very conscious that this is a Hallmark movie, a Hallmark couple, and so they hug like both of them like at a like
Yeah.
they're coming into a triangle,
Hmm.
and we don't want any part of the body below the waist to be touching or even close. These two are hugging like they're really hugging. It's not just simulated. They I don't know. There's just something very real about it, and I really appreciated that.
And it's
And how
also,
tall is Sarah Drew?
she's not tall, but he is.
But
She's just,
but so is she on her tiptoes there?
he is. She's on her tiptoes, and he's bending his head down because when he has his head up, you could see she's not super tall. Like she fits him like nicely. He's
No, I
bending.
guess yeah. She must be on her tiptoes though, because
Yes.
even with his head down,
Yeah,
if she
she's sort of
wasn't,
reaching. I love it. And you're correct in that whole body language. I talked to Sarah Drew about this, and she said that they felt like since it was Hallmark Plus, they could be, I guess this is called spicy. They could push it a little and be a little more spicy. To me, it's not spicy, it's realistic. Because when you see them kiss a lot in other movies, there's like this stand back stuff kind of thing. And it's still nice and sweet and we're in the moment. But when you got people like Warren Christie out there giving kisses like holy schmoly. And I just saw the episode the other night with Robert, is it Buckley and Kim Susted? And when he was kissing her, he kept kissing her and kissing her. It was one of the longest kisses in Hallmark. And I was like, what, did you two guys go take smooching lessons? You went to the same smooching academy? Do you know what I mean? They're like really getting into these smooch fests this year. I'm like, okay. But you're right. The body touching, you know what else? They're also in each other's space. People are closer, they look at each other. It's not just a look from over here, a little touch. They're in each other's spaces in this particular series, which I like.
also in this scene, I think it's also very telling that they are standing in the middle of a sidewalk, and it's like they're not being secret. This is just the
Mature.
relationship they have right now. Just seems so pure
Yep.
that they're just right in the middle of town, and so whoever sees, and they can take from it what they will. So I think this is the beginning of a very healthy relationship. There's going to be some bumps and I was going to say some bumps and grinds. That's not the phrase I was
Hiccups.
looking for.
Hiccups.
Hiccups. There are going to be some hiccups because I, for one, am very interested in not just what the past is, what her background is, like what is her name. Because
Right.
if they have her that she's going by her real name in this town, I'm going to be like, you idiot. That's kind of why they find you.
Yes. And she also said when they were going to take pictures of her being in the choir and put on social media, she's like, oh gosh, do I really want this? She's even afraid to go and have a police report filled out. So she's like very hesitant. So we all doubt that. Well, we saw that she had different passports when she opened up that suitcasey thing that she had. There was like different passports, something with Mexico and whatever else. And I was like, okay. So this is after they're done hugging and they're looking at each other and talking to each other, which is extremely intimate moment because he's there to comfort her and she's there sharing. I love it. And they're circling, and then they smile. They both have a little smile on their face because they know that they've crossed over something now. They're not just superficial. They have like she's shared a secret with him and he's comforted her. So they're in each other's space now. Now I'm curious what would happen afterwards because it could become an awkward moment the next time they see each other, or it could just be even more, into.
I really can't wait for the scene where Emily is in the shop just working with Violet, and a woman comes into the shop, and Violet looks up and goes, "Mom," and that's how we meet the ex-wife, and I want to see what kind of chemistry they have.
Okay, I hear you on
The
that.
ex-wife has with Sam. That should be very and what kind of chemistry the ex-wife has with Emily. What's
Yes.
that whole confrontation going to be about?
because we already know that Violet very much admires Emily. I mean, when she was out there with her friend and they were singing up there and all that happened, she goes, "That's is that your boss?" And she goes, "It is." You know, she's got this big smile on her face, so she is very much, in love with her. You know what I mean? Like as a mentor, as a older friend, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
The
I predict that the. Oh, sorry.
No, no, go ahead, go ahead.
I was going to say I'm kind of thinking, predicting that the friction from the ex-wife isn't going to come so much as ex-wife being jealous of
Yeah.
Emily and Sam. She's going to be jealous of Emily and Violet, and
Mm.
and so it's going to take a little bit of work and healing for for Violet and the ex to. Have they said the ex's name?
No, I don't know if they ever
Violet,
mentioned
I
it.
think they just referred to as mom so far.
Yeah. All right.
So I'm
Again,
looking forward to that.
we are going to share all these wonderful comments off to the side. I just wanted to do my one last slide. And I loved when she was feeling her feels and she's like, okay, I just let that happen. Oh, it's all right. And she goes to sit down. She gets all excited because she's got that tracker from Sam, who is such amazing extra character. Like, he's not a main character,
You mean
but
Raymond?
I'm sorry, Raymond, Ray, that's what I want to say. He cracks me up. He's got all kinds of slick Rick stuff. So anyway, that spooked me out, especially I'm like it creeped me out. I was watching in the dark, and then you see like they zero in from the outside that window to her house, and I was like, I'm glad you're on the second floor because that's a little bit creepy to me. And I'm like, oh gosh. So I'm wondering where all of that is going. I love that creeped me out. And so we go from all those, oh my God, intense feelings and then creepiness. So you're all over the place with this story, which just makes for great writing.
I'm very concerned, afraid that Ray is going to turn out to be either duplicitous and he's, going to betray Emily,
Oh,
or he's going to end up as a victim, from those who are trying to find her. So I'm not quite sure what's going to become of Ray, but we'll see.
maybe anything. Maybe that's how they play it because they are not sure themselves, but they left the field wide open for them, which is
Hmm.
smart. You don't want to tie up everything and like right away show your hand and then a juicy idea came and you can't really make it happen like another show that pretends like Bobby was having a big dream in the shower and it was all just a dream and Bobby wasn't dead on Dallas when they backed themselves in the corner. They kind of did that with another series, pretending like things didn't really happen. I think they're too smart for this. All right. Avis says, I loved Emily scaring him straight. So it was the brother. Was his name Stephen? What was the brother's name? Was it Stephen?
That
Um,
sounds right.
her good friend's brother, who happened to be a cutie patootie, but a jerk. But yeah, she went in there and scared him straight, and he kind of like walked in with his head down, and did his little walk of shame kind of thing, but not really. And there could be possibilities for a storyline there, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. And Rona was saying, I really can't wait to find out about Emily's past, so mysterious. What do you think about her past? What do you think?
I don't know. I think she was again some kind of detective or uh, enforcement type person, maybe a private eye or a cop. I don't know quite what it was, but she found out something that people do not want her to have the knowledge of. And
No.
it may be in connection with her parents. I don't think they're going to do the old trope of they're alive. I'd love it if they would, because that'd be just more storyline. But it's possible that accident was not an accident, and that's what she was chasing when she tapped into something, and so now they're after her. I think that's very possible.
Yeah, like maybe it was something with them because she was raised by her aunt and uncle. And I'm wondering, did her aunt and uncle die or did she have to go into hiding because of the type of life she had? So they're alive, but they don't know she's there. That's why she's closed herself off.
Hmm.
There's just like just that mystery alone is pretty cool. Um,
I think that's going to be a setback too. Um,
yes.
Once Sam finds out
Mhm.
whatever it is that's going on
Yep.
with her, I think he's going to be angry initially,
Yep.
and it's going to be like, I cannot believe that you've been, having my daughter so close
Yeah.
to you,
The situation.
knowing so and so was after you or whatever. So I think that's going to be a big hiccup in their relationship. And but I think he'll also be the one that joins forces with her to, vanquish whoever the bad guys are. And that will, ultimately bring them back together.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that. That's plausible. Robin says, it does feel like she has a dark side, but wanting to move on and can't. I like the whole mystery. And the ending was awesome and layered again. Yep, it was. I love the character Sue. She is hilarious. She is. She's so grumpy, but in an endearing way.
Because they treat her wrong.
They do.
Although they ordered 2 bottles of wine and she got all annoyed. I'm like, well, they have to pay for the wine. That must cost more than the food would have. So what's
Yeah.
the problem?
That's true. But she always wants to feed people. Like I remember when she made pie and they didn't want any pie, Sam and his daughter Violet, and she goes, "You're having pie." Okay, we're having pie. And she made them eat it. So she's like, that's funny because they portray a lot of diner owners like that. You're going to eat this pie. This is what you want. You don't want that. You know how they do that, like as a gimmick almost. And
she reminds me of a character on a show called Haven, which was kind of sci-fi.
I love Haven.
Not Haven. Sorry, Eureka.
Eureka.
Which is one of my faves. There was a diner owner on there, and it was, again, science fiction. And you would go into this diner, and he'd be grumpy sometimes. He's like, "What do you want?" Surprise me. So his specialty was he would always give you what you needed, what you didn't know you wanted. But Sue reminds me of him a little bit in the way they run their diner.
I like how they write her because the lines they give her, as soon as she says something, like the opposite happens. Like
it's the delivery too.
Yes, and she'll say something, and then this in the scene, something different's happening, or it connects in a hilarious way. So that makes for good acting, good writing, and good directing, which is a great combination. She'd be fun to have on, wouldn't she? Like she and Brooke, that would be fun.
Anybody in that cast would be fun to have on.
Yes. And we've reached out for people that are asking, and not that we're keeping it a secret, but we're not going to be announcing because some of the people who are coming on are not coming on for so many weeks. Things can change and different things can happen, but we do have it set up. So I don't like to reveal it weeks and weeks ahead, but we do have people from the show that are going to join us and talk with us, especially when season 2 rolls in. Which is going to happen November the 7th. Let's see. This is Teresa. Roxanne, are you familiar with the writers of this series? This is so well done. Well, the showrunner is Ken, and he was our guest. I don't know if you saw, I don't think you were
here. He wasn't really our guest. He was just part of the.
I meant to say, yeah, he wasn't our guest. We would like to have him as our guest. Ken popped in the comments, and he answered a question that we had about what the name was of the place,
how the town was named, and we're speculating, was it have anything to do with Murder She Wrote or Jessica Fletcher? It was so cute, and then he pops up because he had been participating all along, and all of a sudden he pops up and goes, "Yes, it is. That's how I created it." And we're like, "Duh, you're the creator." And so he kept his true identity hidden.
Yes,
until we asked a question that only he knew the answer to.
Yes, which was cool.
Very nice.
Now, love Sam's character. The hot and cold is intriguing. He's so handsome. He is.
He's all right.
I find him. He's just got such a great smile, and Mr.
Can I just interject?
Yeah.
When will this whole trend? Maybe it's extended beyond a trend now of men generally having the half beard and not being clean shaven. Is that ever going to go away?
I love that.
I don't. I mean, it was nice for a while, but shave people.
I don't like a full beard all the time. I just don't like it. I like when I don't mind clean shaven, but I like when it's not totally that way. I know you have a pet peeve.
But everybody does it. I mean, it's just
you know what? I think it's kind of easy for guys. You know what I mean? Because it allows it a day off to shave or something.
No, they have to actually pay attention to that. There has to be a special instrument that won't take the whole thing off. That takes some time.
Okay. I like it, but it's all right. Um, let's see. I think they both realize it, however, don't want to hurt anyone. And I think you were saying that, Kathy, that they're just there to comfort each other and be
Mhm.
friends and build like a because you know a lot of times, and I like that the right because they're not real people, but I like that the writers are doing it this way because it's realistic. A lot of times when people are just they meet each other, they know nothing about each other. But Kathy, I think we're losing you. We only got half of your head. Move over.
Uh,
There you go. Um, I they fizzle out. It's like they crash and burn kind of thing. And they're making it like a slower burn and to get to know each
and
other.
it's based on exactly based on sharing stuff about each other.
Yeah.
So she shared something. So I'm anticipating in the next few episodes, perhaps he will share something about himself, maybe about why and how his marriage ended, or who knows. But I think they're going to balance it with him sharing something personal about himself. And
And he,
he kind of did he talk about his relationship with Violet and how he feels about that? Was that a
he did.
conversation he had with Emily?
I think that that was Emily. I mean, that was Violet having that conversation with Emily, not
Okay.
him. But he did share a little bit about himself and that he was trying to poke at her too, where he plays hockey, which he really does play hockey. He looked fantastic in his little hockey uniform there. But he said that's what he had a scholarship for, and he gave it all up to go to the academy, and he disappointed his dad. And she says, Emily says, oh, that's almost like a rite of passage there. Kids disappointing their parents. And he's like, oh, well, what was your family all about Halloween and you went with Christmas? And she goes, something like that. You know what I mean? So he was sharing and trying to put an opening there, but she closes it down. And then when she's with June and she's talking to June, she even says that this is hard for me to share. So he started to, and that's about, I don't know, there's more to him, I'm sure, that I find it ironic that he wants her to share and she has, but if he doesn't start sharing, it's sort of like, like do as I say, not as I do kind of thing. So that could be a hiccup too if he's being guarded, because he is guarded, and I understand that's his job and you're supposed to be guarded, but I don't know. He's also, I find it funny how embracing he is because he knows she's good at what she does and he's asking for her help from a civilian. We're I guess it's like not poetic license, but like we get to play around with that a little.
Did have a moment today during church when the pastor said, right after morning service, if anyone who's interested in being in a special Christmas choir should meet up here at 12:45, and I almost had a Deb moment, and it's like, okay, I'll foot the money for some costumes, but I get to sing all the solos, and I got to tell you, people, I'm worse than Deb,
Oh
so
God.
that would have been totally that would have been like a movie or a series moment.
Oh my gosh. Yes, agree. The progress of this potential relationship is extremely moving and with some real life elements, etc., exciting. And you know what? I don't like when things drag on forever and ever and ever because that's what the focal point is. But in this case, we've got family dynamics, we've got friendship going on, we have the whole mystery of who she is, and then we have the mystery of those episodes. So there's a lot there. It's not just about their relationship, which I like.
Here's a comment that made me think of something. Gypsy says, betrayal is hard to get past. I think it's going to affect Emily profoundly to see how much she hurt Sam and will be a good arc for the story. I totally agree. But something just occurred to me. How would it affect them if there truly does become some danger for Violet? If
Yeah.
she gets caught up in whatever, like they want to get to Emily and it's like, we've got Violet, you present yourself to us, something. I don't know what it could be, but that would really freak Sam out and he would tear into her, I think, and it would take some time to restore the trust and to get them back to a good place. So, it'll be interesting.
And it could also be that she can't forgive herself. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? It could even be that.
Yep.
They're all saying that they felt terrified, like when that came across. It was so creepy how they did it. Robin says, love the Emily Violet relationship is truly building up. And yes, mom may be very jealous of that. Or Sam worries about her getting too close to Emily with possible danger. Yes.
I I love that too, but I got to say, from a mom's perspective, because I'm a mom, I'd be annoyed too if I came back to town and my daughter's got this whole relationship with this woman who my ex-husband is also interested in, and it's like, oh, they're creating this little family unit. Not to say that the ex-wife is right to feel that way, but I can totally understand why she would, and I suspect, this being Hallmark, that uh, any such storyline, if that's the way they go, is going to be used to strengthen the relationship between Violet and her mom.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she'll still, be totally um, close, tight with Emily, but she they're not going to use her, the ex-wife, as a scapegoat. I guess that's
No.
what
Yeah.
I'm
I don't.
yeah.
The writing's too good for that. That's like too tropey. I like that. No, no. I agree with you.
Do you remember a show that I believe it was Hallmark, because it's pretty much the only kind of series I watch, but the lead guy and lead girl, lead woman, had a relationship, and his ex-wife would come to town periodically. He was like, she was in the FBI or something. Does that sound at all familiar?
So are you thinking 101?
Maybe it's
Mystery.
not Hallmark. Mystery 101, yes.
Hmm.
He was with or used to be with the FBI, right?
Yes, and she still was, and we got to meet her towards the end. Yes.
Yes. And that was such a healthy relationship, because
Yes.
he was dating the first, the
Yeah.
lead woman, and the ex-wife was told, they end up friends.
Listen, that writing of that mystery series is so
It's
good.
on my Win Calls the Heart list in terms
Yeah.
of betrayal.
Many people are betrayed by that. Actors included feel betrayed by that.
Yeah.
Rona is saying that I hope not. I love it. And I think she's
I think
talking
she's talking about the beard.
yeah. So I'm with you, Rona. I'm with you. Let's see. This is true, Rona, and I want to talk a little bit more about the mystery itself. There are a lot of murders for such a small town. So this particular murder was kind of interesting because Vera is the person who murdered both of them. However, the second one, she said, was sort of like he came up on her and scared her and she cracked him one, right? But
Hmm.
wasn't that Erin Cahill? It was. She did play the ex-wife. You're correct. For 101. But then that's Vera was not trying to kill Deb. It was the husband who was trying to kill Deb. He was so crazed in how he felt that he was the one who poisoned her and did X, Y, and Z, and that's why he rigged the whole lighting. And we didn't well, we would have seen Deb if she had the solo burn up and get like fried up, I guess. But instead it was going to wind up being Brooke because Deb was no longer the soloist, and you know all how that went. So there was like a layer upon a layer and then a surprise. And I like that. This next mystery that's coming up, it's very layered. There's a lot of different people that are involved. We saw the previews for it. It looks very good, and I think everyone is going to enjoy it. One of the things that I had written was about the layers. I put that in there. Everything is layered. All kinds of relationships, reasons why they do what they do, like the ski mask and her taking that into her own hands. Like I said, it just wasn't because she wanted to. It's because now we see that dark side in her. So I think the writer's room must be really interesting and in this. Like, what was Ken thinking when he developed all these characters? There's not that a lot of them, but yet they are layered enough, just like humans. Like everyday people have all kinds of parts to them and behave differently. Like I behave differently, not really at school that I behave at home. That's not really true. I kind of am the same, but like, yeah. Rona, the next episodes are your favorite? Yes, this next mystery to me is the best one. It just kept this one is even more intricate than the second one was more intricate than the first, and this third one will be too. Um, I'm looking forward to it. What do you hope to see in the next two episodes, Kathy, in this next mystery? Because it is the season finale. Like, what are you hoping happens?
I want to see the relationships, all of them, develop a little more. Emily and Violet, and Violet and Sam and Emily, um, and what new characters they introduce along with the new mystery. That'll be interesting. I one of my thoughts was Vera. I perceived that she was kind of petite, not skinny, but not that large of a person. I'm like, how did she murder two people? But I actually looked the actress up, and she's 5'8", which I am. So she's no little shrinking Violet. So she probably handled herself quite nicely. I like the way they handle the members of the choir, as she was nosing around asking questions, and the answers people were giving. That was kind of surprising.
It was
Yeah,
funny. It was funny. Yeah.
Yeah, who was the one guy? I can't remember his name, but she was like, "Were you interested?" I said, "No." Why not? Not your type? Oh no, no. He said, "Not my type," and I forget what she said because
Blonde.
yeah, and he's like, "Yeah, blonde? No, woman." And she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay, never mind."
Yeah, and he was very like complicated. He was in prison, and but he was in prison because he took the rap for someone else,
Yep.
and he was in the choir singing, and he was gay, and he was tough, but he was also sensitive. It was hilarious.
I
Like,
wonder if we're going to see. He's a character we're going to see periodically, like we do June and
yeah.
some of the other ones that come along. So yeah, I want to see more about the relationships. I want to see more, the side characters. I kind of enjoy them. I want to see if they're going to do anything with Violet's best friend and her brother.
Mhm.
Did that whole thing have a point? Because it could have been just random, someone breaking in, but they made a point of it being of introducing him. Yeah,
Mhm.
my brother's a jerk to all my friends, and so they
Mhm.
made a point of that. And so, you know, having Steve, if that's his name, show back up and be a good guy, that's happened before. Again, in was it Mystery 101? I think they had a character that was a bad boy, and he turned out to be a good guy and very helpful to them.
Redemption. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, a
Redemption.
redemption arc for the best friend's brother.
So the third was fantastic. A lot of teamwork. That's Avis. And one of your favorite actors, we talked about this last week, is playing a part. And Rona is in the choir, and she says, "Love the choir dynamics. I can relate,"
Hmm.
which is so true. One of the things I wanted to point out, I made a little note that said whimper. And I was just thinking about how actors just get into that role of who they are. And there's an actress that when she goes to kiss someone, and she does like a little hum, like when she would kiss her baby, or when she would go to kiss somebody on the cheek, or when she was like kissing the person that was the love of her life, she'd give like a little hum. And I remember pointing that out to the actor that she, was a they shared the screen with. And he's like, "Oh, really? I'm going to have to point that out because I noticed that when she kissed another character now, there was no humming." So those little things I find funny as a viewer because I almost wonder if it's like something that is coming from them personally and they don't realize they're putting it forth into their character unless it's written that you must be a hummer when you kiss. You know what I mean? So I was watching and I just caught it today. I never caught it before when Emily, when Sarah is playing Emily and she's crying and he's comforting her, she's whimpering. If you go back, you can hear her whimper in him holding her. It's like her face is buried in his shoulder and you can hear her whimpering and her little sighs. And she was like so into it. And I think that's why I was so into it, watching it, which I think is really good acting. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's very rare to, but actually, it's not that rare because I can think of several series where they have lead couples who have that kind of chemistry, that kind
Yeah.
of, yeah. There was somebody you you both of us liked it. Um, it went out of my head, but they do something very similar to that. That you can. Oh, you're the one who introduced me to this. Where the couple, the lead actor said, the woman. Oh, Republic of Doyle, where he said, I
Actor
took
love.
one look at actor love. I took one look at Kristen, and I knew she was the one. And it's like we fell in actor love.
Yep.
And I think couples who fall into that, you know, who else was another one who fell in actor love? Um, Barry and Iris, the actress who
The
played Barry
actor.
and Iris
Yep.
in The Flash, they were another two. And I think when they find that actor love, that it's so wonderful, which is another reason I'm so upset about Mystery 101, Christopher, and oh my gosh, that was just the best.
It's like they have this ultimate respect for each other and
Mm-hmm.
what they bring to the screen, and they can see themselves with them. And that's why when an actor says to me that he was or she was in on who was being chosen to play their leading role, or whoever is going to have a big part with them, because it could be two best friends, two men, two women, and they're there watching and they feel the chemistry with them before other, like there might be other actors that are bringing it that are just as good, but just with your eye contact or your body or whatever, and you feel it. If they're going to feel it, then we're going to feel it. Do you know what I mean?
And
We
the
are.
fascinating thing is they can have that chemistry. Some couples have that chemistry without a doubt, can't stand each other off screen. When they're not on camera, it's like, yeah, don't do your thing, I'll do my thing. And yet the chemistry is undeniable. If I was, 50 years ago, and I could go back to college, I'd do a doctoral paper on it, a thesis on how that happens. But the actor love versus, you know,
Yeah.
not being on stage or in front of a camera.
Yeah. So, Robin, we're not talking about the difference with chemistry or not, maybe on the set. This is what I mean by this. When an actor feels the chemistry with another actor, it doesn't mean that it's because they have chemistry off screen. It's because of the parts they're playing and what they're doing, and they feel it when they're sharing the screen. There are a lot of people who are married, or there are a lot of people that have been physically intimate, and they don't have it on screen. Do you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? They do not have it. It doesn't show up. I can think of a couple that is currently now married, and I've seen them play because of the characters that they are, playing roles that they are to fall in love. And it was sort of like cardboard to me, even when they kissed. However, I've seen them act together, and the characters that they have they were not to be together on the show, but they had fabulous chemistry because of the roles they were playing. But I'm saying that when an actor is sitting there and he has to choose, or she has to choose who they feel that with, if they feel it on that scene, they're going to feel it and we're going to see it. That's different. I'm not talking about, and that's why, I mean, let's think about that. We were talking about Alan Hawko. He is very much into acting school, and everything he touches goes to gold. And when he met Kristen a long time ago, and he saw her and he had to do some scenes with her, he saw what she brought. He felt that, and that was actor love. She's a husband she loves. He has a wife he loves. It's not that kind of a chemistry. And chemistry is not subjective. I'm sorry, people are like, oh, it's they don't have chemistry. It's not, that's not what the issue is. The issue sometimes is that you don't want them to be together, so you refuse to participate or see it. People bring their own baggage to the scene. You have to look at things objectively. It's just like when I'm in class and people will say, I had a student say to me that the teacher was mean in the book, was mean to the little boy. And I said, she was. Okay, well, that's my opinion. Nope. Show me, pull out all of the evidence of examples of her being mean. And when they did, it wasn't. In his mind, if the teacher treated him that way in real life, then it was the teacher being mean. But when you went and you looked at the story, she wasn't mean at all. So it was something different. So we have to, like, we're looking at this from an artistic point of view. We're not bringing our baggage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or are we bringing our baggage? You tried not to bring your baggage. I try not to bring my baggage,
Yeah.
right? Remember when
I
we were
see I see couples that I believe have chemistry up the wazoo, and I've seen other people just swear up and down, no, they don't. He'd be so much better with so and so, and it's like you can't talk somebody into seeing what they don't want to see. That's
Yep.
it. You just can't. So
When actors have back and forth banter, is there some technique actors use to get the timing down, or does that happen in the editing process? Some actors have such great timing with a back and forth. I think it's a combination. It's like the way the director asks you to the way they direct it. But I will tell you, I'm going to give you a When Calls the Heart example because they've talked so freely about it. The two actors that have they're dynamic together, like they have such a close off-screen relationship that when they're on screen they can kind of read each other's minds, and that's Pascal and Kevin Smith, and Pascal Hutton and Kevin Smith, who play Rosemary and
yeah,
Lee.
Rosemary.
Yes, and they've gone off on a tangent a little bit and just did their thing back and forth, kind of ad-libbing, libbing, am I saying it right, or whatever. Not too off, because you can't be too off the script. And they've allowed it. They've kept it. I mean, the directors are like, it was just, they know their parts so well that it just flowed and it was better than what they thought it could be.
Yeah, I think they know each other so well
Yes, they
that
do.
they trust each other. You have to have an enormous amount of trust
Yep.
to be able to go off. And I say that because they've done like 4 or 5 separate movies where they're totally different characters, and
Mm-hmm.
that same dynamic comes
Was
across.
there. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
The other thing too is I remember when I was watching many interviews for Bridgerton. So Bridgerton is written by Julia Quinn, and Julia Quinn, which I've studied her books back and forth multiple times. I'm in a book club about it. We study it and everything. She's very good at writing a scene where all the brothers and sisters are at the table and who's speaking when they're speaking. That is hard to do, and in your mind you can hear it and see it. It flows. It's a gift, and she does a great job with it. Now, to take that and bring that across the screen is a little more difficult. And if you see, like, especially in like procedural shows or like cop events where they're standing around where that big board is and everybody says, oh, and this happened, and then everybody's got a line. It's so like they went down the line, the line, and everybody had a line. It, to me, it's forced. Did you ever see that where, oh, and this happened, and then this is happening, and then they give some more background, where I feel like it would be more natural if actor one and actor two said a few things, and then actor three jumped in, and actor one and two went back, and then the next. It's like hard to do. And sometimes directors got it and sometimes they don't. It's very orchestrated, that's for
Hmm.
sure.
More
Yeah.
than you think, and that's part of the talent of the
Mhm.
actors. And they make it look effortless. Did they ad lib that whole scene?
Yep.
Well, no, but they. It was to script and it was directed, but they just make it look effortless.
You know who's good like that with banter back and forth and makes it like it's effortless? Tyler Hines is very good at that. Like sometimes you wonder, did he ad lib the whole thing? You know, and he did, and it's just the way his timing is so perfect. He, like, it's like he feels the part. But so is Brendan Elliott.
Mhm.
That's the same with him too, in his little laughs, and he knows just when to laugh and when to make a little comment.
Yep.
And it's so like natural and it flows. And when I've asked, did you throw that in? They're like, no, that really was in there. We just, made it work.
That's the way they do it. Yeah.
Well, Um, this is I think our last little tidbit here. Like in Moonlighting and Castle, the actors had fantastic screen chemistry, but could not stand each other.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, 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 yes. Yep, I agree. I agree with that. Wow, we talked this one to death. I guess we really enjoyed it.
Looking forward to the
Yeah.
next two. Hmm.
And we have reached out. We've reached out to one, two, three, four people, and we did get a response from the one. And we're setting that up. And now we're going to reach out to a few more. and we'll hopefully they'll be able to join us because I think it would be fun to get their perspective. And you know, we love the way home, Kathy and I. We were there from day one, and we host a podcast about it. We've done extra stuff about it. I mean, we've done 10, 20, 30. We had to have done about 45 podcast episodes just for the way home. And it's fantastically written, fantastically directed. It just keeps you on the edge of your seat. The actors are amazing. And finally, they go and they take it and they go and they put it on Netflix and it blows up. If you go on TikTok and you hashtag that, people are talking about it. People are crying. Oh my God, I had to go and get Hallmark Plus to see season 3. And I'm writing to them, join our fan club, join us. Like, I want it to explode because it should explode. Do you know what I mean? It should just be stuck right here. I love Hallmark, and people got like a little about it. They don't want to join or watch. So I feel like stuff like Mistletoe Murders, Providence Falls, they're really good, and the rest of the world should know that. So here's my long-winded reason for saying this. If you have social media, get out there. I don't care if it's once a day. You can make a comment and hashtag Mistletoe Murders. Do it. Do it because people should be watching and seeing, and we want more of it. I know we have a season 2, and I'm not saying we're not going to get a season 3, but I'm just saying if you like it and it's different and you've got social media, whether it's X, Threads, Blue Sky, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, get out.
MySpace.
Pardon me?
MySpace.
Okay, MySpace. You know, when that first came out, it scared me to death. My sister was all into it. I'm like, they'll see into your world. They'll kidnap us. This is before she even had children. They'll kidnap us. My sister's like, who wants to kidnap you? I said, well, they'll kidnap you. I was cuckoo. Don't show any parts of our house. They don't have our address, do they? So lost my mind.
Bless your hearts.
Yeah.
Just to add to what Roxanne said, we want more Mistletoe Murders, but we also want more like Mistletoe Murders and The Way Home and some of these, I call them non-traditional Hallmark productions because they're really good.
And they're not so far away. People are like, oh, the morals and the values. There's nothing wrong. They're not asking that you have to get so far away about the morals and the values and whatnot. There's nothing. They're good. Everything is good. We're all good. We're good. We're having a good time.
Morals and values are a problem, but not the several murders that occur in each episode of the show. That's fine, but morals and values.
Wait, this is what I mean. They were all about Aurora Tea Garden. Okay, Aurora Tea Garden was like people were dying left and right in the most brutal ways in Aurora Tea Garden. Okay, brutal stuff happened. And that's supposed to have morals and values that Mistletoe Murders. Like, this is what I mean. Like, come on now. Let's just that's them bringing in what they want, So if you love it, go out there and support it. I don't care if it's just one post. I don't care if you go on X and put the hashtag in the search bar, Mistletoe Murders, and it's been up from 24, but then it was for the summer. Pick the closer ones, requote, put Mistletoe Murders in there and say you love it, watch it, boom. Or on Instagram, whatever it is. Or go on my Instagram account and like it. You could use photos. You don't have to. You could just, I don't know where you are. If you're on X, you don't need photos. You can take a thing off of my page or someone else's page. You can hashtag and look for it and then repost it and say what you want. Just use the hashtags and it just gets other people out there to see. All right. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next Sunday, right? Which will be, oh my gosh, it'll be the 2nd of November. Right? November 2nd.
And don't forget that the time changes next Saturday. So be sure to make that adjustment so you don't miss us.
Most of my clocks do that automatically. Most do. Do yours do it?
My oven doesn't do it, and my microwave doesn't do it.
I don't have a microwave, but my oven doesn't do it either. But I'm glad our phones do and our computers do, right? All Souls Day. Yes, it is. It is All Souls Day, Rona. The other thing too is there was something else I wanted to mention. Thank you. They're saying great job. I forgot, but I don't know if you all follow me on Instagram. Not that I'm saying I had to go rush over there, but often I put news and things up that way. Sometimes Hallmark sends to me like posts that have not hit the media yet, and I've got photos that they dump to me and all that, and then I can put it together and put it out there. And they just did that with the Grand Ole Opry Christmas that's coming up, so I've been posting stuff, and then after so many days the actors themselves can post it. So they give me things sometimes, and you can be in the know. All right, this year has flown. It has. Time change, yes. All right, what do you want to say before we go, Kathy?
Keep towing. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, we will. Keep towing. I love it. Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye. See you next week. Where's my hand?